Let me know if any of you are in here. I went a lot live a little early just to see if we can get more people in here. Let me know if you're in here. Say hi or put a heart or find a book in your emoji list and let me know. Leave an emoji in the chat if you are seeing this, or go ahead and ask a question and I will see if it pops up. I hope you can't hear the road sounds because of my headphones. I'm hoping. There's also someone cutting down trees around in the area, and I hope you can't hear it. My dogs might also be barking, and I hope you can't hear it because of my headphones, hopefully. Still waiting for people to join. Hi, Jennifer. I still want to call you Sissy. Because that's all I knew you as growing up. The beautiful fall colors are starting to come in. We're supposed to get our first really cold night. We've got that frost warning and freeze warning coming on. So I hope it's a killing fault. Frost, killing, freeze. Good. I know that I can call you Sissy. That's all I've known you as. I hope you can't hear the road noise. I'm hoping my headphones will reduce that. I know, I'm not talkative. Just waiting for more people to come in. Everyone's coming home from church, so church and eating and living in the Bible Belt. Oh boy. I hope my little e-reader that I have my book loaded up on does not go kaput on me while I'm doing this. I've given us time for hopefully some questions a little bit before and after. Because I don't think this chapter will take all of hour and a half to do, hopefully. It's actually the second chapter of the book. And like most of my books, I set it in Missouri because that's what I know. So if there's people who know me and know the area, you will know the spots that I am talking about and know some of the landmarks that I discuss, although I was sad to see the other day. I probably have missed it because I don't go down there very often. But the tree that the Waynesville Park is known for, the one everyone liked to sit on, is unfortunately gone, which makes me sad because that was one of the iconic trees in the area. We were hit really hard by flooding in the 2010s, and it happened almost every odd year. So it was kind of known around here as the odd year floods, and we just try and keep going, keep growing. So that's what we do. Right now, I think the 20s are making up for it with a big old drought. Our persimmons are saying spoons. So if you know folklore, spoons in persimmon seeds mean that we will have lots of snow to shovel. And there's the fork and the knife. A fork will mean very little snow, and the knife, if I'm remembering right, means more ice weather. So last year it showed spoons, and we had quite a bit of snow. There's also other lore that we go by. The one my aunt and uncle live on is the number of fogs in August will tell you how many snows there are going to be in the year. And the one I do is on the first snow where you can track a rabbit, which means that in snow you can see footprints, but it has to be on the grass, and you can track a rabbit. After that snow, you count how many days until the new moon, and that's how many snows you will get. And I tend to do that one because it's a bit more accurate. Though last year it was off by about 10 snows. So I don't know what's going on. We'll see. Yeah, I would not want to live where you live and do winter. Not at all. It's bad enough here. And yeah, the park is totally different. We have a disabled, nice playground. We just got an outdoor exercise area near where the old pool used to be, near the splash pad. We also have a nice little outdoor concert pavilion, which is nice. They've made a nice walking trail for us now, so you can go down to the spring and go back, of course, under the bridge and through the park and circle round. It's actually quite nice. Yeah, it's gotten a lot better. A lot of the older buildings, they have either built up or redone. So it's actually looking really nice on the square. We do still do a lot of the festivals we did back in high school. Except Frog Days is actually in the fall and not in May. So you're not dying too bad. Which we all know how bad that was. We have a Thai restaurant on the square. We have a wine cellar restaurant. We have 2 beer tap places. It's so nice. And they've redone O'Reilly, where the old Western Auto place, where it burnt down. It's now a little 4-shop area, and it's quite beautiful. It's really nice downtown now. And of course, we still have the Frog Rock, and of course, it still gets vandalized sometimes because, the rivalries. We were quite good this year in our football, and here's one for you. We beat Hillcrest by a lot, by like 30 points, and we know how that is. We know if we beat Hillcrest, it's a pretty good year for us. I haven't checked the record lately, so I don't know how we are in regards to going to state. But if we beat Hillcrest by that amount, we know how that goes. So I'll give it about 3 more minutes, and then I guess I'll start reading. So it's getting nice around here. I can't wait to see how different it will get here soon. I know that the 6th grade center, I think, is completely done. The remodels of the middle school are completely done. The WCC is done. We are getting started on, or at least we're hoping to get started on, a new elementary school. So, as always, our school district is growing thanks to military base here. And that's always the fun part. So it'll be that time of year here soon where everyone comes back, and then comes what used to be called Exodus, where all the trainees go out and every families come back in to see other family members. And I like when that happens. The driving gets quite different. Craziness dies down for a little while, so that's nice. Certain parts where it's crazy to even venture quiet down, and you can actually go to Walmart because of just the congestion. So, and our little area is growing. Fort Wayne Bob, because we stick those 3 all together: Waynesville, Fort Leonard Wood, and St. Robert. So we just make sure everything is nice and pretty. So I will get going on the book. And this is chapter 2. And it starts with Easton's point of view. And here we go. I could hear the gravel crunch under my tires as I pulled into the parking lot area by the Big Piney River. I shook at my head at how predictable my class was, having it here. The party area for about 50% of the class. Of course, my group was a little happier hanging in the parks in Waynesville or Richland. The majority of us played instruments, so we go to the park to fiddle with our guitars mainly. There were four types that ended up by the Big Piney. One being the popular crowd. They sometimes had the second type along for the ride, which were the jocks. Lakeway being the small school it was, the only popular sport that was played was basketball and baseball. The third type were the ones who partied a little too hard for most people's liking. The fourth and final type were the country kids. Alcohol was involved in all. I avoided this area like the plague growing up. I only came with my band now, well, exception for today. Rivers Run Deep, which consisted of Xander, our lead singer, Sin, our bassist, Jackson, our lead guitarist, Neo, our drummer, and I, the rhythm guitarist, usually came out here and similar riverbanks to distress and get away from the people altogether. Having just won a Grammy, we have people clinging to us all the time. Some of us like it better than others. Me? Well, when I'm home, I just want to unwind, and the only people I usually want to see are those who are important to me. 99% of them won't be here on this riverbank today. I park my Challenger and get out, taking a deep breath as I straighten to my full height. I'm not a small man. I stand 6 feet 5 inches and weigh over 250 pounds. So I stick out like a sore thumb, even without the rock star recognition. The high-pitched scream alerts me that I have been officially spotted, and the hand of the former class president grabbing at me tells me I can't escape back into my car. Oh my God, Easton, I wondered if you'd come today. I heard you were off tour and begged Jacoby to get you here. I owe him a kiss, I guess. It's so great to have you back with us, the only truly successful member of our graduating class. I can't believe you're truly here. She, though her name escapes me, squeals, causing me to cringe at the sound. It's not that I'm not used to the sound, but having it in my off time sucks. So she led me further into the shark pit of people I graduated high school with. The more hands began to slap at me and grope. This is why I didn't want to come. I'm not a fame whore or even a man whore like our drummer Neo, so I normally don't appreciate the groping. Maybe if my guitar had my hands, I'd be happier to hide the groping, or if it were Anaya doing the groping. I look above the crowd gathering around for me, searching for Anaya or Jacoby, someone to save me, but I don't notice them on the outskirts. I had a beer thrust into my hand, and I immediately chugged it, needing the liquid courage. I shake hands, give platonic hugs, sign stuff for significant others of people in our graduating class that didn't know that I was in the class. Fans fawn over me. People told me how much they liked our music only because they went to school with me. Someone made a request that our next single be "Along to Me," a song on our last album that Jackson Xander and I wrote. I told him that unfortunately that the next song would be from the album we were working on now. I released a sigh of relief when the crowd got enough of me and when Miss Class President did too. I can usually put on the celebrity mask when on the road, but I don't want to have to do it here at home too. I went and stood on the edge of the water, staring at nothing in particular when I felt the presence of someone join me. I stood still, hoping I'd go unnoticed. It's beautiful here, peaceful, even with all the people talking so much about the rock star in our midst. But I never caught a glimpse of him. I just saw the man transformed from the boy who used to play his guitar while I snuck around and listened to it. I paused before I turned and saw the most beautiful creature that has ever haunted my dreams for over 15 years. This begins Anaya's section. I couldn't believe he was here. I heard rumors he was in town, but I hadn't had the chance to run into him. Hell, Dustin practically kept me prisoner outside of work. My paycheck did keep him in the booze supply. But Easton was here, and I built up enough courage, and Dustin was occupied enough reliving his old football games from his time in Waynesville, that when I saw him go stand by the river's edge, I decided to go stand beside him. He turned slowly, cornflower blue eyes wide as he looked at me with the mixture of seeing a ghost and wanting to eat me alive. I wanted him to eat me alive. I never told anyone about my crush on him back in high school, and I especially never told anyone how I borrowed the office computer to keep up with his career. "You're here," he whispered. The tone of his voice confused me. Was he wishing I'd come here today? Yeah, I couldn't miss another reunion. I was busy last time. I miss seeing everyone. I'm happy to see this is a family event. Now everyone can see what I see. He looked at me confused. I drive a school bus for the school district, so I see how well those child development classes we had senior year worked out. I produced a little laugh at my own joke, thinking about how many of our classmates have spoiled and entitled children, many of whom had parents here. He bowed. "I bow down to you. You have truly a trying job. I know our bus driver has had to slap our drummer upside the back of the head for his on-the-road antics multiple times. I couldn't imagine over 100 little Neos on one bus." He winked at me when he came out of his bow. I giggled. "Ah, so you have a man-child around almost constantly then. Poor guy." I smiled brightly and patted his arm. I'm surprised when he grabs my hand and holds it. Yes, poor me, though he does provide comic relief a lot of the times. But still, poor me. He winks at me and my heart flutters. I hear a bottle smash against the rocks somewhere near me, seeing it at my feet. I look around and spot a charging Dustin, zeroing in on Easton and myself. Easton looked up from me to our threat and pushes me behind me, not knowing that it would only make it so much worse. "Get your hands off of her, you fucked up piece of crap. I think now that you're a big rock star that you can get between the legs of any woman you want." "Not her. She only spreads her legs for me," Dustin yelled while charging at Easton. I gasped at his words. Even though I'm used to hearing them, Easton threw his hands in the air in a surrender motion, trying to calm the situation. Dustin laid his hands on the center of Easton's chest and pushed. This sent him into me, which I was still hiding behind him, causing me to fall on my ass. Easton must have realized I had fallen and disengaged with Dustin to squat down beside me to check on me. Dustin barreled into Easton, knocking him off balance before straddling my thighs and delivering a right hook to my face. You fucking bitch. That's why you wanted to be here. To see this asshole. So you could cheat on me? Ain't happening. He began grabbing at my shirt, trying to take it off of me. I'll fuck you right here in front of him and your friends to prove what a whore you are and that you're only mine. He was there 1 minute and the next he was gone, and Easton was on top of him, pinning him down. The stark difference between them was glaring. What the fuck is wrong with you? You don't treat women that way. He delivered a punch that knocked Dustin out. Immediately, Easton was off and still Dustin and was squatting in front of me again. He reached out to touch my face, but I instantly flinched away from his touch. He pulled his hand away and I stared into his eyes, begging him to understand. Sorry. Oddly enough, his eyes told me he understood my timorous apology. He shook his head. No need to apologize. Are you hurt badly? Do you need to go to the emergency room? His care made me smile even though my cheek hurt. Nothing I haven't dealt with before. I have a special bag of peas that I keep for my face. I kept a bag of broccoli for rib hits. I didn't know why I was spilling my guts about the abuse, but I felt safe with Easton, even with a crowd hanging around, whispering about what just happened. Come on, I'm taking you to the sheriff's office so you can report this. He grabbed my hand and easily hauled me up to my feet. They stayed rooted in the gravel as I looked down at Dustin, trying to decide if I finally wanted him out of my life. Taking a deep breath, after deciding my destiny, I looked up at Easton and nodded my head. My hand was still in his hand when Jacoby rushed up. I hear I missed the best part of the party. Hey, Anaya. His smile was kind and understanding. Easton let out a little snort. Then apparently he remembered what Jacoby was referring to. Keep him here. I'm taking Anaya to the sheriff's office to report this. I'm sure the cops will come to collect him. He pulled on my hand gently to get me to start walking. I followed him past the whispering crowd and up a slight embankment to vehicles. He clicked his key fob and the lights flashed on a Challenger. It was my dream car. I would love to get behind the wheel, but it was his car, not mine. He led me to the passenger side and assisted me getting in, which I found endearing. Once I was safely tucked in and had my seatbelt on, he shut the door and rounded the hood of the car to get in on his side. The man was beautiful behind the wheel, not in a traditional way, but in a way that said he could easily handle this sexy car. Easton pulled out and we made our way down the road to the sheriff's office. Again, like when we left the river, he assisted me getting out of the car. He immediately grabbed my hand and walked into the courthouse as a team, which was foreign to me. We walked in and up to the counter and told the woman behind it that what we were there for. I let Easton do the talking all while he held my hand. She told us to go sit and wait while she got the detective and also dispatched a police officer to the river to pick up Dustin. I began shaking as we sat side by side. Easton noticed and wrapped his arm around me to keep me warm. Are you okay? His concern warms my heart. I nodded. Yeah, just coming from the heat to the cold is a shock to my system. He shook his head while looking at me. I don't think that's what's causing the shock to your system. He looked down for a moment and then back at me. How long has he been doing this? I looked up for a moment, trying to hide the tears that were forming in my eyes. His touch to my face brought my eyes back to his. I closed my eyes before I spoke. For over 5 years now. It started early on in the relationship. He wiped away the tears that began to fall. Whispering, he said, "Oh, baby." Baby, what? His statement confused me. He can't possibly have feelings for me, especially like I do him. We haven't seen each other in 15 years. It's crazy. I watched him from afar. He was a celebrity. He can't have feelings for me. He's had supermodels he could easily have. I'm plain, a little fat, and ordinary. Anaya Blackheart, a plainclothed officer asked me. That's me. I grabbed Easton's hand and he led me into a tiny room with him and the officer. I needed his strength, otherwise I'll chicken out. Hi, I'm Detective Dillon. I'll be taking your statement and pictures today. First off, do you mind washing your face so I can see if you have any bruising on it? I hesitated, then nodded. I was directed into the bathroom where I stared at myself in the mirror for a while before I ran the water and began to scrub the makeup off my face. I saw the faded bruises, the new one forming from earlier this morning, and beginning of the bruise on my cheek from the blow at the river since I hadn't iced it yet. Once all the makeup was off, I took a deep breath and went back into the room. When I entered, Easton's eyes immediately swung to me, and I could tell he was disturbed by what he saw. I would too. I'm going to take some pictures of the bruising. Do you have any anywhere else on your body? I nodded. Do you mind showing me those? I hesitated again, but I removed my shirt and removed my leggings, nervous about being stripped bare in front of these two men. The kidney blows he delivered last night were bright purple and still sore. The fingerprints on my thighs where he forced them open after the blows were purple too. Motherfucker, I'm gonna kill him, Easton breathed. I didn't hear that because I wholeheartedly agree. Detective Dillon gritted out. He looked at me with some sympathetic eyes. Did he rape you? I looked down and nodded, tears escaping my eyes. Easton let out a growl. Again, his response to all of this was puzzling to me. Why did he care so much? I was nobody to him. Well, we'll take you to the hospital to do an exam once I'm done with the interview and taking pictures. Do you have a place to stay? She's staying with me. Wait, what? And that was chapter 2 of the book. Doing a little bit of a live reading for you. So I thought maybe you would enjoy it and hopefully think that it was worth your buy. Of course, the link is in my bio. Hopefully it is something that you will stick by me through the whole series of writing. It's a meaningful series to me. It will be filled with dark themes, as you can tell from just this, topic that was discussed in this chapter. I will tell you that she is one strong cookie. Anaya is. And that's just like her muse. The muse I had is one strong cookie. And, I can't wait for you to meet Anaya and see the strength she has. Easton is just my absolute sweetheart. He never gives up on her. Even when he screws up and is afraid of what's to come next, he never gives up. And I think that's what's awesome about Easton, is he wants her to have the best life possible, and he wants her to shine with everything she has and can possibly be. And that's what I absolutely love, and what I think a survivor needs. Like I said, this series is deep and personal to me. This first book of the Waters Run Deep series, not only has my muse in it, but it also has quite a bit of me in it. And I know authors always say that we write, there's a little bit of us in every book. But this book has a lot more me in it than what people understand. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. I'm tearing up because this book is so meaningful, and I just want everyone to enjoy it and understand that no matter how broken and alone you feel, that you are not alone, and that you will never be alone. And I think that's the best part of this book, is the little small community that she had around her, that she was forced to have around her. Not only does that encircle her, but Easton's group, not only his band, but the family he has within the band, they circle around him too, and circle around her, and they protect her. And they kind of warn Easton, like I teased in the story, the stories of Instagram. They warned him that if he screwed up, they would immediately take Anaya. And I think that comes from the need of something I want as a survivor. I want these protectors that, are willing to step up. But I also, like you will see that Anaya doesn't need protectors to step up. because she is her own person, her own hero, and she will get it done. And I think that's always the best part of everything, is she will get it done no matter what. I am currently working on the next book in the series, and I can't wait for you guys to see it and read it. It's a little bit different. It's not as dark, I don't think, as this one, but you never know where my characters take me. As I mentioned in the reading, the drummer, Neo, this is his book, and Neo isn't all that he seems, and that is the best part, because we all have an outside exterior that we show, and we rarely show who we are. But also, we have pasts that not everyone who know us today know about. And those pasts might not be pretty. And I think that's what ultimately we all need to remember when looking at people. That we don't know them. Even our best of best friends, we might not know part of their history. Even if they told us, we might not know. And I think that is something we're lacking. And of course, the compassion. I think we need more of it. And myself included, I find myself sometimes lacking that compassion. And I also kick myself in the butt for it. But, you also have to have compassion for yourself. And I think that will show in the next book also. Don't have a title yet for it. I'm debating on between two. And honestly, this series is something I can't wait, because it'll have dark themes. And of course, because I center my books in the area I grew up and know, it will incorporate military themes and just some part of the local lore, and that's what's best. And I think that's why I love being an author and writing about my area, is because I write about what I know, and I know this area. So I am thinking that after Neo will be Jackson, and I have a little bit of a interesting story coming to mind with that one. And I honestly, I can't wait for you to read it either. We all need a little bit of that interesting twist in all of our lives. And then the next one would be Sin, and then after Sin would be Xander. And I think he needs to shine. Xander is the sweetest, but also he hides more of himself than what people think. And that will show. And I can't wait for you to see how that one goes. That one, I seem to start off dark and I'll end off dark because I know the basic plot points with what I want to do with that one. So I am just excited for this series. I know that I'm just a baby author, and I hope that people like this book and people will love this series and people will love these characters because these characters are personal and I am so proud of them. And of course there's comedic relief because I can't not put a little comedy in my books. I think it needs to be in there, especially with the dark topics that happen. You just need that. If there's any questions, I'll take them. And I had this scheduled out until about 2:30 Central Time. I kind of suck at putting time zones in things, so I apologize for that. I may do another reading next weekend. It depends on what's going on. But I am excited. And I hope you are too. So, I'll see if anybody else comes in the next few minutes. And if not, I'll end the stream and hopefully have it uploaded here soon. I don't think I'll be doing TikTok today, just simply because I don't have enough followers on there. So if you will please go to my TikTok and follow. And I'm not all that TikTok savvy yet. I don't dance. But in my Instagram posts, it tells my TikTok handle and where to find me. I will also get that QR code for you and put it out there. Like I said, I probably won't go on TikTok today live to do that because I don't have enough followers. I have to get up to 1,000 followers on TikTok, and we'll go from there. So hopefully maybe by next week I'll have enough followers. But as of right now, the next time slot for TikTok is canceled. And I'll take a little bit of time off. And then I'll get in on the Facebook Live. We have about, 10 more minutes and see if anyone comes in. So Just let me know if you come in. Fall allergies. Yay! Okay, I think I will end this a bit early. All right. Thanks for those who came in. Okay, bye.